Hey, back with part 2 of section 10.2, angles and arcs. So we talked about all the different things we could have with a circle in terms of an angle, the central angle with its vertex at the center point, and the arcs that it can form being minor and major. So take a look back at your vocab and review that real quick here if you need to. We want to take a look at some of these things kind of put into practice now in terms of how to determine measurements. So the measure of an arc is always going to be equal to the measure of its central angle that forms it. So for example, in circle B here, if I have angle ABC, that's going to create an arc right here. We talked about this arc AC. That's a minor arc. We name it with 2 points. So if I know that angle ABC has a measure of 88 degrees, okay, and that means that arc AC will have a measure of 88 degrees. So the arc is always equal to the angle that creates it. So we got a couple examples down here that we'll take a look at. So you see in here we've got a couple of angle measurements, 47 and 62. You'll notice that DE, right there, segment DE is a diameter. So that's going to split our circle in half, so creating 2 semicircles. That's right, there's 180 degrees in a semicircle, so if I wanted to, I could figure out the measurement of that unknown angle right there by taking 180 and subtracting 47 and subtracting 62. When I do that, I know that the measure of angle ABE is going to be 71 degrees. All right, so I can take that out. I can put in 71. And so these central angles are going to help me figure out the measure of my arcs here in problems 2, 3, and 4. So in 2, it asks you what's the measure of arc AC. Arc AC is right here. It's a minor arc. We know it has to be less than 180 degrees. Notice that you've got a central angle of 47 right there. So that central angle tells me that the measure of arc AC should be 47 degrees. Number 3 asks for the measurement of arc EC. Again, still a minor arc. Well, EC runs from here to there. So it covers both of these angles. I should add them together. That's a great idea. So if I take 71 and I add 47, I'm going to come out with 118 degrees. Good. And then lastly, take a look at number 4. See what you think. Arc ECD. Yep, we're starting at E. We're going to go clockwise through C all the way to D. That's a semicircle. So we know that it has to be 180 degrees. Excellent. Any questions? All right, we're good. Sweet. Let's move on. So last little bit of examples here, a little bit more difficult. We see that we've got some algebra involved right in there. Angle RCM, central angle, because its vertex is at the center point. So we've got angle RCM, which is right here. We've got angle RCL, which is going to continue out to there. So notice that you've got a diameter right here, which makes you have a semicircle. And so I know, I'm sure you know, that x minus 1 plus 3x plus 5 has to equal 180. Good, so combine like terms, that's 4x plus 4 equal to 180. If we subtract the 4 from both sides, we get 176. And so when you divide, x is going to be 44. So now that we know that x is 44, we get rid of those. we now know the measure of our central angles here. So I know that this is going to be 43. I know that this will be 137. I've got another angle right here, angle NCL. You've got 60 degrees adjacent to it right in here. So the rest of it, yeah, that's got to be 180 combined. So we know this has to be 120. So the cool thing here now is we know every single, whoa, we want to do that. Let's just erase that, I guess. There we go. You know the measure of every single central angle, which means you should be able to figure out the measure of every single arc that you're asked about within that circle. So in 5, what's the measure of angle NCL? NCL, we just found that out to be 120. What's the measure of angle RCN? Well, that's from here to here, so add those together. We're going to get 103. Take a second and see if you can come out the answers for problems 7, 8, 9 on your own. Pause it if you want. All right, we're back. Arc RL is right here. That goes with our central angle of 137. So hopefully you wrote down that that measurement's 137 degrees. Number 8, what's the measure of arc RN? So arc RN, we're going to start at R. We're going to go over to N. So it covers both of those central angles. So that pretty much number 6 relates directly to number 8. We know that's going to be 103 degrees. And lastly, what's the measure of arc RNL? So RNL, 3 letters, means it's either a semicircle or a major arc. R, there's N, we're past halfway. So there's L, that's a major arc. We want to add up all 3 of these measurements. And so when you do that, you should come out with a grand whopping total of 223 degrees. So go back, watch part 1 and part 2 again if you need to, and we'll talk about things tomorrow in class. All right, have a great night.